Wow, it's so snel nu. So this update now is very fast. Clearage episode, fantastic. It's gotten even better. It's very quick. This is beautiful. So then I can make a nice video for my song, and it's way quicker than before, so it takes less time to generate everything. Whoa, it's amazing. Sunshine on snow, gusts of wind playfully pass, peacefully solemn icebergs flow, never too far. It is morning, it is dawn in sunshine on snow, gusts of wind playfully pass, peacefully solemn icebergs flow, never too far. It is morning, it is dawn in sunshine on snow, gusts of wind playfully pass, peacefully solemn icebergs flow, never too far. It is morning, it is dawn here, sunshine on snow, gusts of wind playfully pass, peacefully solemn icebergs flow, never too far. It is morning, it is dawn here, sunshine on snow, gusts of wind playfully pass, peacefully solemn icebergs flow, never too fast. It is morning, it is dawn here. I didn't want the text, but I guess I will still download it. Antarctica, the polar ice. Hopefully there will be no text. Oh, I can try different. Oh yeah, there's no text. Different styles also, of course. I can try different styles, and also I need to maybe make different sizes, different dimensions of the image. But this is just so beautiful and relaxing. That's also why I wrote the song, because it just, you can repeat it. And it's in F sharp. No, it's actually F sharp major, or it's in D sharp minor. It's basically actually is in D sharp minor, but it can also be in F sharp major, depending on your moods. It doesn't really matter. Those two are not interchangeable exactly, but like you can start in one and in the other, or vice versa. It doesn't really matter. So this is key scale. And I'm not sure if I was singing in that scale because I was just a cappella chanting. So I'm not sure what scale I was singing in. I don't know. I don't have perfect pitch like that, so I can tell what scale I was singing. But I was just singing. I was just listening to the song. So maybe yes, because I was just listening to the song and then continuing. That I was playing in that scale, but I was not sure if it was in that scale. So I was playing in that scale on the keyboard, but then transposed maybe 11 keys down, or perhaps 6 keys down. So I'm not sure what scale I would be in then. So, um, um, yes, I think it was like transposed to, let's say, D sharp, down, transposed down to D sharp, and then I was playing in D sharp minor on the keyboard. So then I would be in some key that I don't really know. I cannot calculate. I don't know now. But anyway, so yeah, and I prefer to play and sing in A sharp minor. That's my favorite scale, most comfortable scale. Or C sharp minor is also nice for me, relaxing. Or D minor or C minor. So, or B minor or A minor or E minor. So it just sort of depends on whatever. G minor or F sharp minor or F minor or G sharp minor. So yeah, it just sort of depends on my voice, what currently how hydrated I am, or what mood I am in, or what shape my voice is in, what if it's bassy or if it's more high pitched, or nosy or breathy, or what kind of vibe I'm in. It just depends. Then I can change it, search it on a keyboard, but I cannot do it on the piano, obviously. So yeah, I could play in all the different keys, but I cannot play in all the different keys. So I am not such a piano master. I can just play on the keyboard in all the key scales, musical skills, because then I can just can just transpose it, but and play in A minor, for example, that I know well, or that I can play in well, or E minor that I can play relatively well, or D minor. That is still okay. Or F minor if I'm, yeah, that's also if I want to be a little more adventurous. Then I will play in F minor or C minor. I can play in C minor. And then if I want to make it a little more complex, I can play in C sharp minor. Or I can play in C klezmer scale, Klezmer, the klezmer scale. I'm not sure. It's some Phrygian scale, Phrygian, some kind of gypsy scale. I'm not sure. It's or Jewish music scale, the klezmer scale. So then C would be in C. That would be C, C sharp, E, F, uh, G, G sharp, A sharp, C. Wait, I think. Wait. C sharp, E, F, G, G sharp, A sharp, C. Yeah, so that would be the klezmer scale. Yeah, klezmer. I know – that's how I say it. The klezmer scale of yeah, Phrygian, diminished fourths or something. I'm not really sure. So let's see what's okay, and then but then of course you can also add different notes and make it kind of just add a few notes and introduce some off notes or some other more tension and conflict and then release it again and make it more interesting. Of course you can do that. So then, for example, maybe instead of an A sharp, I would introduce a B into the picture and then go to C. So yeah, the tonic, but then the upper tonic. So then we would be at the one again, the upper one, the tonic. Yeah, that would be good. And then it's like the harmonic minor scale, introducing that note into it. It makes it kind of like harmonic minor scale, and that creates some interesting effects, some color or the texture, tension, or something that's interesting. And then kind of breaks the ice, kind of breaks the foundation and makes it a little more interesting. But it's already interesting, so also some interesting thoughts or secrets or I don't know, lore or information, or I'm not sure. It's not a secret, it's not lore, it's not anything. Secrets or Eric Saties. I'm not sure how to say it. Erikssatie. Eric Satie. His music is Hnossians. Hnossians. Yeah, he wrote some very famous minimal classical musical pieces, Hnossians, and I think there's maybe 5 of them or 6, or I'm not entirely sure about his musical oeuvre, but yeah, so I still need want to listen to a lot of his music. Basically, there's so much more to listen to that I have never listened to actually. By Eric Satie, and then the first or his Gnossiana is in I think maybe all of them are in F minor, but not really in F minor, in the F minor, but no, in the F klezmer scale. So this exact scale that I describe, the klezmer scale in F, as far as I know, or not. Or not, but yes. So it's basically it's actually there is no skill in his sheet music. There's no skill mentioned, so it's just freeform basically, chromatic skill. All the notes can be used or are used, but they are not all used as far as I know. I'm not sure if all notes are used. I also wrote some musical piece in which I did use all 12 notes. And meandering through different key scales, which was inspired by Eric Satie's Gnossianus, and also I call it Gnosis, which means some words, yeah, something relating to know something, or knowledge, knowing, the knowing of something, some mystery, or but if you know mystery, it's no longer mystery, so then but knowing something inside, having insight into something, having knowledge about something, insight, seeing into something, knowing something about something, uncovering some mystery, gnosis, Gnosis. So that's what I named my musical piece, Gnosis. And it's about, I think, yeah, if you know music theory very well, if you know music theory well, if you can discern, if you have a feeling for it, if you have if you get very OCD about music theory, then you can start to feel what feels right or not right. And you don't really need to adhere to a musical scale anymore. You can simply take a note, and from there on meander past several notes, and then find your way back to. So the first note will be the tonic, the bass note, and then there's this whole theory about like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the musical scale. Then those are the main notes. But there's 12 notes. That can be used across the keyboards in different pitches. So there's more keys, there's more tones, but there's 12 notes in different pitches. And okay, I want to maybe make this image a little wider. I want to, yeah, I will just continue here. Okay. So the chromatic scale contains all 12 notes, but you can use all of them, but it can sound like a cacophony. Kind of a cacophony. It can become very messy and disorderly and not nice to listen to, like actually a lot of classical music to me is like, and to a lot of people. So people are very like these purist ideas about classical music, like, oh, you need to respect classical music. If you don't like it, then you don't appreciate culture. You need to appreciate classical music. Blah blah blah. Even if it's like the most extreme noise and weird sound complexity, and then of course, oh yeah, okay. So these complex pieces, complex classical musical pieces. Then usually there is something fascinating about it. Otherwise, it would not have gone down into history as a classical piece that is renowned for its complexity, and people listen to it all the time. Or, yeah, but that doesn't mean it's nice to listen to. It doesn't mean it's nice to listen to. Oh, wait. Um, that doesn't mean it's nice to listen to. It can still sound like crap. Uh, but then it can still, music theoretically, be interesting. Even if the music sounds horrible, then it can still be theoretically interesting because of the complexity of the music, the sheet music, and the, yeah, the notes, the arrangement, the composition can be complex or interesting, or yeah, almost mathematically interesting. Different the structure of it, the melody, the harmony, the melodies, the harmonies, and the relationships between the notes and the chords formed, the progression. So, first of all, the progression, the melody, or the different layers, the harmony, uh, and the way it moves, and there's tension and resolve. So, throughout time. Yeah, sequences in sequences. So, that's music. Sounds ordered, sounds, a sequence of sounds ordered, arranged, a composition, and to be played within a certain time frame. That's music. And then it sounds like something, a musical piece. That's a composition. So that's music, and so it's an ordered arrangement of sounds, or of elements. You can also think of music theory through the viewpoint of set theory from mathematics. Then the notes are elements, and yeah, different elements that are, you can look at or points or elements that you can look at individually. You can zoom in, you can view the relationships between the nodes. So it's also a system, basically. The whole composition is a system. A system means anything that is under observation or under investigation, or anything that is considered as an arrangement or apart from other things. So a system you can take, for example, you can look into space, and then you can take a photo and you draw a square on the photo, and then you can consider what is inside the square. So that then there's a composition inside square, and then that's the system. And then there's different elements. For example, we can make a few points in there and draw lines, create shapes, and then so then there's a system. It can be, yeah, so under investigation. Music theory is also like that. So in system science, that's these things are explored. Systems theory, system science, but also in music theory, and there's also the idea of musica universalis, musica universalis, musica universalis. The harmony of the spheres, the music of the spheres, the music of the universe music, or cosmic symphony. So the idea that all of the universe is an ordered arrangement. Obviously, it's negentropic, it's ordered, there's relationships between all the elements within it. It's a system, can be considered a system. The cosmos, an ordered arrangement, meaning ordered arrangement, a composed whole, a monad, monadic unity, universe, oneness, one thing, the universe, the universe, nature, physis, the physical, and matter, mass, and energy, everything that exists. Also in alchemy, usually symbolized by Ouroboros or some symbol or a ring. I don't know, the cosmos. So, and it can also be described through modern science as a ring, the one ring to rule them all, like rings in chemistry, all these molecules forming rings, ring compounds, cyclic compounds, rings forming bigger rings, and then and more compounds, this whole chemical structure, alchemy, the chemistry of the all, alchemy, which is kind of mysterious. It's a mystery, the alchemistry. alchemistic, really, alchemistically speaking. So then this musica universalis, or a symphony of the spheres, or a cosmic symphony, then this clockwork universe is also what it says, clockwork universe. But yeah, because everything is like a clock, is onto a clockwork, is what has been said in like mechanistically, also in science, in physics. There's this idea in classical mechanics, in physics, everything is a mechanism and it can be predicted, and the spheres, harmony of the spheres, relationships between it, relative to each other, relative to each other, the distance between things, and it's moving around, it's moving in orbits, and all of that is in relation to each other, but it's all in relation to each other. So that's also the theory of relativity. Only in relation to another thing can it be said that it moves there or there, and within a time frame. So it can be said that it is moving around, because otherwise it's static. Within 3D, 3D is static. So basically, if you take a 3D space, you look at it, it's basically a 2D image. And then only if you move around it, if you move around, if there's movement that constitutes time, then your shape turns into form. Otherwise, there's only shapes. There's only an image. Shapes. There's only shapes. And then once there's movement, these shapes become forms. And then you see that there's more to a form. So a shape is basically a 2D shape. A form is a 3D object. And then through movement, and you can observe it from different sides. That's a form. And also there's moving, and that's what is called 4-dimension. So space-time dimension, space-time. Then there's the Cartesian coordinates, and if you make that into like a 3D cube, then yeah, basically you have a space. And then if you take into account that things can move around in that space, like that's the 4-dimension space-time, then there's, yeah, then you have some 3D space in which things are moving around, 4-dimension time-space continuum. So, and anyway, music theory and is said to be like, yeah, a symphony, and also nature is said to be like a symphony, and music and the cosmos are said to be like a symphony, a composition, ordered whole, an arrangement of cosmos, a set of elements making up something bigger, making up a monadic unity, but the unity is a multiplicity, and the multiplicity is a unity. So the one and the many and the one, the many in the one and the all in the many, all these ideas, unus mundus, one world, one thing. Then there's this Aima Mundi, this idea of the world soul, or psyche cosmos, the idea of the psyche of the cosmos, like cosmic consciousness, and that consciousness is like a cosmic phenomenon, that nature itself is conscious, is what is theorized, or the earth, or nature entirely, that everything is either consciousness or matter or both, that we cannot really know. Then there's this energy mass equivalence that by Einstein, I don't really know what the constant of light has to do with it, time squared, but anyway, energy is mass is energy, something like that. And I mean, everything can be described as matter or as energy, but actually it's both. It's both together. So, and not energy is mass. That doesn't make sense, because energy is energy, mass is mass. So things are only identical to itself. So then the identity of indiscernibles comes in, but everything is only unique to itself. So if you have two identical objects, they are still not identical if they are in different parts in space-time continuum, different spots, because then they are not the same, they are in a different location. So also in quantum theory and in all these quantum things, like quantum objects, one thing can exist at different different places. That's not true. That's not true. Then it's still two things, because they exist at different locations. So every point in space-time, then you can envision this universe as a huge matrix, where every point in space-time is like every point in space-time is a point and a pixel, a kind of something that's a unit, a quantum, the smallest thing that exists in the universe, and a point. And then you have this huge matrix where everything, so then everything's only identical to itself, and then energy is moving around through that, to the chemicals, the materials, the matter, and that is a total worldview, of course, theory of everything. Also, electricity and magnetism. Through electricity and magnetism, these things are like, through electricity is information is transferred. Electricity transfers like bonds atoms. Also magnetism bonds atoms. Electricity transfers information. Magnetism bonds atoms, hold atoms together. Electromagnetism, electricity and magnetism bonds atoms and molecules, transfers information throughout the whole universe according to modern scientific theories and my theory of everything. And then there can be either the absence or the presence of electricity at every point or unit in space-time. Basically, that's my theory of everything. Which is like computer binary data 0 and 1, the absence or presence of electricity at a certain point in a chip, microchip, and the configuration of the metal or the chip constitutes the data, or that is like the information, the physical part of it. And then when energy is put into that, electricity is put into that, then it can be converted into information, other information, into visual information, sensory information, that like on the screen, light that we can see and that we can then interpret, read, and everything. And then this information enters into our senses according to science, and then we can interpret that inside of nervous system. It's converted again, so everything is just converting into different, one big conversion going on as a one big alchemical conversion inside this vas alchemicum, or a chemical vas petals, like the alchemical matrix, womb, Hiranya Garba in Vedic literature, the cosmic womb, the golden womb, or this here universe or chaos inside an emptiness, a void, a space that's not nothing. It can contain something, namely light or electric, not light only, but electromagnetic uh, energy, and mass, matter, chemicals, materials, and everything. So inside this void, there is, inside this space, there is everything, namely electromagnetism and matter, materials, and everything, and all of that is like forming one huge. So that's how I think of the universe, as a material of everything. And so electricity is or energy is electricity, energy. It's moving around, magnetism, holding things together, bonding atoms and everything together, forming, shaping, reshaping things, and to the basis foundations of mathematics, like plus, minus, divided by, times, and everything. Like you can basically code this whole, you can that can be used for like a little more energy, no energy here, energy there, or plus energy, zero, minus energy. Divide this, multiply that, and stuff. That's how you can think of it. It's like an abstraction of the whole universe and our experience and everything. Then you can, yeah, how the universe, I can think of it as a big machine, or not machine, but organism, also organisms. So mind, matter, body, mind, consciousness, matter, body, mind, everything, like organism, mechanism, all of that is basically like it's one thing. So this idea of this unus mundus, or one thing, the one thing is many, and the many things are one. So that's my theory of everything. Basically binding all of science, like mathematics, physics, chemistry, and also biology. So our nervous systems also, neuroscience, our nervous systems work like that. Our neurons, they either fire or not fire based on electricity voltage in our bodies, which depends on certain substances in our bodies. And of course, because water and the salinity of the water in our bodies, then that makes for that the electricity or electrical impulses can move throughout our nervous system. So salt is essential to our bodies and our functioning of our nervous system and our physical system. So information can be transferred throughout our bodies, from the nervous system, from the brain from the central nervous system to the enteric nervous system, our stomachs. So from the base chakra to the crown chakra, let's say, from the guts to the to the brain, to the vagus nerve and everything. So enteric nerve system and central nervous system. Then there's the sympathetic, parasympathetic nervous system. There's the autonomous nervous system, the unconscious mind, the unconscious nervous system, and our conscious awareness and all these things. But anyway, yeah, so then neurons either fire or not fire based on the voltage percentage. So it's either 0 or 1, fire or not fire, and this information is transferred throughout, or electricity, or yeah, that makes the chemicals pass or not pass through different cells. And yeah, so that's kind of also how it works at the atomic level according to science, but also at the molecular level or cell level of cells, like biology. So that ties all of that basically together, like from the quarks and the subatomic level to the level of consciousness and awareness and mind and everything. Then all of that is tied together, like with electromagnetism and materials, energy and matter and stuff. So yeah, so that's my theory of everything. And yeah, with this idea of the absence and presence of electricity and then magnetism bonding things and electricity, these forces holding it together, shaping, reshaping, solve at coagula to dissolve and co-regulate, or from alchemy, this credo, solve et coagula, to dissolve and to coagulate, to shape, reshape, to form, metamorphosis, undergoing phase transitions, reshaping things, reshaping stuff, morphology in biology, and like the study of the formation of organisms and the genesis of these organisms, like embryogenesis, and through the interaction of light or energy with matter and the growth of our cells, nerve systems, and bodies and everything, like from this embryo into different layers of the three layers of that go into all the cells of the whole body. And yeah, from the cell to then the DNA create proteins and dictate which what cells are going to be what and do what, and all this DNA is transcribed, translated by means of materials and also electricity and energy powering all of that. So we need to eat to have energy for our bodies to do all of that. Sugars are the backbone of that, and also amino acids. So we need amino acids and sugar, and then for the synthesis of this DNA, and also our neurotransmitters and hormones and everything. And then we just, are growing into these beings all the time. And also it's constantly reconfiguring neuroplasticity and everything. Our brains, also our bodies, our cells are regenerating, renewing, so we can regrow things. Our brains can regenerate. And um, yeah, that's something. Anyway, sunshine and snow. So that's very interesting. Like all these intellectual things and science, and it's light unto like a light is unto the light for the world, shedding you know some light to what is unknown, like the unknown, the darkness or whatever, something that's dark and unknown and scary. And there's light of science making it less scary, creating meaning, and also a narrative or a viewpoint, so it's meaningful. It's still meaningful. Like modern science is like kind of devoid of meaning, seemingly, but that's only Maya illusion. That's not true. There is a meaning to it, namely that not everything is unknown, scary territory, like hugely unknown, scary, overwhelming, primordial. Matter, pure materia, everything like this matter has been coagulating, and energy is always constant in the system apparently. So this energy and this matter has been evolving since times immemorial. And but yeah, there's some problems with that. But anyway, some mysteries. So, but anyway, yeah. the everything that's here, all these materials are primordial. They have just like everything that's modern and now is has been evolving since always or whatever. It's like all of this is prima materia. It's all primal matter. It's just in the now, and there is no past. There is no future. There's only the present moment in which everything exists. That exists. And in our memories, we have memories that exist in the present moment of the past, and writings that exist in the present moment. So, yeah, and that's, so everything is only always in one moment, only existing, but still moving and changing all the time, like Panzeré, the constant flux and flow of materials. So it's a little bit of a mystery also there, like why is it not static or anyway. So, but sometimes I just like to also meditate or do yoga, stretch my body and muscles, and or to meditate and think of nothing. And I like the song I wrote, "Sunshine on Snow," or actually "Sun shines on snow," but I want to change it, maybe "Sunshine on Snow." But yeah, like sun shining on snow, gusts of wind playfully pass, which is also kind of weird because a gust of wind is not really playful, it doesn't really sound playful or nice, but anyway, still these contradictions, this contrast is interesting. Contrast, birthed awareness, perception. Contrast is at the base of perception and awareness. Only through contrast have we become aware and can we know differences and be aware of phenomena at all. So, but as a gust of wind playfully pass, peacefully, solemn icebergs float. So just these icebergs drifting slowly, and the clouds drifting by slowly and moving, and there's no humans in this picture also, but there is still an observer. No, that's not true. Maybe not. I am the observer in this picture, or maybe somebody who is looking at it now. If you are looking at this video, you're the observer of this picture, but whether we are there or not there, we can not know for sure ever. Like, if the tree falls in the forest and nobody's there to observe it, does it fall or not? Well, probably yes, because when we go there, the tree has fallen. But we cannot know if it exists or not. We can never know the observer effect, blah blah. We need to observe it first to know if the tree has fallen or not. Schrodinger's tree or Schrodinger's whatever mystery. Like, we need to observe anything before we can know it, of course. So I have a lot more to tell about that, like the quantum superpositions and all of that stuff. But I assume that the trees and Antarctica exists and everything, like Antarctica exists when we're not observing it. But then I imagine a scene where there are no people. I know there's people living on Antarctica, and Antarctica is habitable at different places. But and there are people living there, and mainly military and other officials who can go there, and researchers, scientists, and who are researching Antarctica. So, but So anyway, but a lot of it is also not inhabited, not habit. Yeah, there's no people there, so there's just icebergs drifting on by, and there's no observer. And then I imagine a scene. This song is about a scene where there is no observer, basically, only maybe God or nature, if nature's conscious, if God exists. But really, it's just nature existing in the song by itself, for itself, and it's peaceful, it's morning, it's dawn, so there's no scary, I don't know, conspiracies about the military or things going on there. It's just Antarctica, there's just icebergs floating on by, drifting on by. The clouds are just moving around in the air, or not moving, moving around, or not moving around, the Earth is rotating. I'm not really sure, but anyway, it's just these icebergs are floating, and clouds seem to be, seem to be moving, or are moving also, and everything is just peaceful. The morning has just begun. It's morning, it's done there, and there is nothing wrong. There is nothing that's unsettling or upsetting. A lot of art is about pain and about depression, or it's about being very happy and excited, energized. Music is about, because it wants to there need to be feelings and everything. It needs to be about, needs to sell, and for that to sell, then people need to connect to it, or then want to identify with it, or not identify with it, or probably you want to identify with it, so then or relate to it in some way. um so then it needs to be very feeling based, and needs that sells. But this song is not about that. It's just about a scene, a nature that is existing, and that's just existing there for itself, out of itself, for no reason that we can know. But I don't know. Probably there's a reason, or there's cause and effect anyway, and maybe there's no reason, maybe there is a reason, maybe there's a goal, maybe there's no goal. It doesn't matter. Like, all of these thoughts are not important in that moment. It's just sunshine or snow and icebergs peacefully drifting by because the wind playfully passes, and it's morning and it's dawn and it's peaceful, and it's like a mantra. It's a very simple song, and there's only 5 notes, or 6 notes, no, 5 notes basically that you involved in the song that I wrote. There's only 5 notes, which are repeating, and which are necessary to play. Anybody can basically play it. It's not very difficult at all. And these notes are D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, and A sharp. And then the D sharp is also alternating between C sharp and D sharp. So that's 5 notes. And then it can also be played like in 4/4 rhythm only, or it can also change between 4/4 rhythm, and then you can also play, for example, you leave out the C sharp and the D sharp, and you just play F sharp, G sharp, and A sharp, and then in 3/3 time. Or you can just kind of experiment with that, and so then you maybe do the D and the D sharp and the G sharp and the A sharp, or just sort of switch it up and experiment. And it can be further extended upon, so but then you can do like 4/4 time, and then 3/3, and then 4/4, and then 3/3, and try to still have it be the same amount of time and be able to sing the song. So what then becomes possible is that if normally you have this 4/4, so then it's like 4/4/4/4/4/4/4/4/4/4/4/4/4/4. Well, actually, anyway, this yes, okay. So 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, and then you can play this 3 notes a little quicker, and you can repeat it more often, and then you can play that maybe 6 times, I think, or 5 times if you want, or 7 times, and have it be still the same amount of time. So it's kind of an etude, a practice, but it's very simple, but it can become very complex, and you can just repeat it, and these lyrics repeat, and it's, to me, very relaxing, because it can be very simple, and it can make it very complicated. It's nice to learn how to play on the piano, and a child can do it, a grown-up can do it, a beginner can do it, advanced pianist can do it, can be extended upon endlessly and can repeat, and it's very relaxing. And I was just making, I was just generating some images for it, and then started into this, became this whole talk. So, yeah, like a mantra, something to have in your mind also. You can sing in your mind to keep like negative thoughts. If you feel negative thoughts at bay, that's kind of a mantra. If you're having negative thoughts, then you can exchange that for something. You can sing a mantra, and then the song will be in your mind instead of negative thoughts. You can just repeat it. That's the idea of a mantra, I think, the purpose of it. And feel better, feel peaceful. And this is peaceful because there it's not about something sad. It's not about something happy. It's about something that's just neutral and that's calm and calming. And I like that. And it's not pretentious. It's not about anything pretentious or pretending to be anything else than it is. Not deep, it's not complex, it's not um, artsy or conceptual. It's just a natural scene. It describes a natural scene where there are no human beings also, and that's why I like the song that I wrote. And yeah, it's called I don't know what it's called. It's basically untitled. Um, it's about yeah, basically I wanted to call it Antarctica because that word does not come up in the song. And but not sure yet. It's not finished yet. So and but yeah, so and the sheet music is very simple. It just takes one little piece of paper to write that down, so it can be on a postcard, and I will make it soon. And yeah, I will continue now to generate some images for the video.